Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder.
What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
The Boys Season 2 has dropped on Amazon Prime. Get 30 days free. Go to inspireddisorder.com/prime. They were released weekly, which I am not a fan of. I have gotten used to and enjoy binging a season of shows, so I waited until the all of the episodes had been released, and I'm glad I did. And I took, it's been a while. I've been waiting for it because I enjoyed season 1 of The Boys, I should say. Which, if you haven't seen the show, it's a great show on Amazon Prime. It's about a group of vigilantes who are trying to take down corrupt superheroes. Basically, let's just say if like a pharmaceutical company owned superheroes, and superheroes, like, it's basically the reality of capitalism infused into a superhero universe where most of the superheroes are assholes, and there's also, like, it's a whole conglomerate of stuff. It's like if like a pharmaceutical company also was like Disney and produced all of the like movies based with these superheroes, and like we're like a talent agency for superheroes. So season 2, I rewatched season 1, just kind of refresh for season 2, because I watch so many shows and movies. Sometimes I forget little plot details and like where characters have changed. And this one had some interesting additions to it. New superheroes have been added. You have, of course, the Deep, who is kind of the Aquaman of the show, who gets busted for being a sexual predator, basically, in the first season. In this season, he's been transferred to Cincinnati and gets hooked up with Soup Church, which is, I forget, what's like a superhero collective church or whatever, which is they're trying to change his brand to try to get him back in the 7, which is very interesting to see. Not only is this show a takedown of capitalism and big business and things like that, but also the church and how two-faced, how very hypocritical and fake a lot of what church is all about, quote unquote church. So that was an interesting addition to see this like superhero church. And then there was one of the new superheroes to be added to the 7 was this badass. So the 7, they're trying to rebrand them and to be more diverse. So they find out one of the superheroes is gay. Well, she's not gay; she's bi. But they want to push that. They're trying to get They're trying to recruit people who are of a different race to kind of round out the different representation of different races, but not based on necessarily their abilities, but more just their race. Which is true, which is the same thing that a lot of Hollywood is doing when it comes to casting, which I don't have a big problem with. I love diversity. I love movies. Movies and TV shows don't have to just be all white people. I actually enjoy movies and TV shows that tell similar stories or new stories from the different perspective of different races and religions, and I really enjoy it. But there's a difference between producing content written and directed and framed in a different cultural lens than there is just kind of casting to look like to kind of have the appeal or the facade of diversity. Like, there's a fake diversity that also goes on, which I'm not necessarily a fan of, because it's not really. It's just fake. It's just unauthentic. And that's kind of what the Vought company is trying to do with the Seven, which is the name of the kind of the Avengers of the story, who are all not all. There's some that are legitimately good people, good superheroes, but their main guy is a complete megalomaniac asshole. And Storm Chaser is this badass bitch that gets added to the crew. But you find out that she is not who she was. She is a superhero that's been alive for a long time. Spoilers. Spoilers. She's been around a long time, and she's actually a superhero that's had a lot of problems in the past. That Vought has kind of rebranded and moved around a lot of times, similar to the Catholic Church. What they do with priests that molest children, they will just kind of move those priests to different churches instead of getting rid of them. Costco did a very similar thing to managers who would get accused or investigated for sexual harassment or harassment in general of employees. Instead of being fired, they tend to just transfer those managers to different warehouses. And that's been the story for Storm Chaser. But her past comes out, and it's very crazy how the storylines of this show mirror and reflect very similar things that are going on, because she starts riling up the crowds, similar to how Trump has riled up the crowds, and really used hate as a way to bind people and to kind of create her base. And come to find out that Vought was created back in the World War II during by a Nazi trying to create super people, and she was the first superhero created, and she is now trying to spread her Nazi agenda. And it was interesting to see when she first kind of was introduced to the show, just like these subtle things that she would say and the subtle ways she would act that were like, holy shit, there's a racist superhero. And then to come to find out that she's like literally a Nazi superhero. That's where she was created. And she gets with what's his face, the main guy. He's supposed to be like the Superman of Homelander. Yeah, so she gets with Homelander and basically kind of shows him like the ropes of how to become a dictator and how to use hate to kind of rile up and inspire your masses. And it's crazy. It's just the storylines are crazy, the acting is crazy, the new superheroes they've added are crazy. I really enjoyed the show. There are many, many, many scenes of heads exploding. There's a specific one during a trial that happens that I thought was there's a movie. There's been a few movies, but there was a movie recently, not recently, maybe the last few years, where the end is heads exploding and it being like fireworks. And that really reminded me of this scene that happens during a trial. Really kind of crazy. It's like it's not a funny scene. It's like definitely something that takes you like off guard, and it's like something that you don't even know how it happened until the very end of the season. And the way the season wraps up, I think it sets up great for a season 3. I don't know if they will. I could see they could potentially end with this season, but because the boys kind of disbanded in a way, you know. But I don't know. You also get to see Frenchie, and you get to see kind of his backstory. You get to see the Asian superhero, which I'm blanking on what her. Does she have a name? Man, Kimoko. I guess that's just Kimoko is just her name. But you get to see her backstory. You get to see her brother shows up at one point. But I really enjoyed the season of The Boys. Just the writing, the what they're able to do with this type of superhero story and how they're able to really kind of reflect the last 4 years or even the last 5 years of what Trump has done to really grow his base is, and kind of putting hate and racism as like a foundational kind of thing. Very interesting that it was tied into this, as well as the church, which are both things like it's cool to see a show that I relate to on a lot of different levels, and it's also just a great show in general. So check it out. It's on Amazon Prime. If you don't have Amazon Prime and you want to watch it, get 30 days free. InspiredDisorder.com/Prime. Make sure you support our sponsor, Amazon Prime. Get yourself 30 days free of Amazon Prime. It's the service that keeps on giving, whether you want to stream movies, TV shows with Amazon Prime, all the movies and TV shows that are available there, or you want to borrow Kindle books. Maybe you're into reading. Borrow some Kindle books. Get your read on. Or let's say you like music. You can listen to unlimited music with Amazon Music, all through the Prime service. Get your 30 days free of Amazon Prime, signing up now through my link, InspiredDisorder.com/Prime. And of course, you get your free 2-day shipping, along with all of the other benefits. InspiredDisorder.com/Prime. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/InspiredDisorder. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at InspiredDisorder.com and follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!